by showing off the first key, which is control. Now, unlike kids, adults want to have control over their own education. We can't just give them a syllabus and tell them you're going to study this. No, as adults, they will make the decision. Do I want to study this particular section or not? So that is the first key in terms of adult teaching or adult training. Second is adults want to be actively involved in the process. You can't tell an adult, this is how you run Microsoft Excel, and you proceed to give a 2-hour lecture about Microsoft Excel. It's not going to work. You need to explain 15 minutes and straight away the computer needs to be there for them to try it on the spot. Adults need to be actively involved. There are no exams for adults. They're going to be using it on the spot. And this brings me to my third key, which is relevance. You can't teach adults things that they have no reason to learn. It needs to be relevant to our lives. Otherwise, we're not going to learn it. In school, all of us are forced to learn the subjects even though we don't like it. How many of you love history? Put up your hands. Oh, so a lot of history buffs here, that's good. But how many of you love the SPM version of history that you need to learn and memorize? None of you, right? How is it done? Very dry, very boring. And you start thinking, what has this got to do with me? What is it? How is it going to help me in my future? So when we teach adults, it needs to be very relevant to what they are going to do in their lives. The next is experience. We need to acknowledge that adults have their own experiences. Kids have no experience, so you give them whatever, they will just swallow it. Because we have no experience in life. In school, we're just learning stuff. But adults have done it outside. So you can't approach an adult. For example, you're teaching an adult how to present well. Maybe an adult walks in, Toastmasters for the first time. You think that they have not spoken in public before, but they might be a lecturer or a professor who has spoken, and there you are evaluating them as though they are first-time speakers. So we need to acknowledge that they also have experiences in life that aid in whatever you are teaching them. Next, we talk about encouragement. Adults need to be encouraged a lot. Because for adults, they're not afraid to do mistakes, but at the same time, they don't want you scolding them as though they're kids. They know they've done mistakes. That's the whole reason they're coming for training, because they realize that when they come to training or they want to learn something, this is a space where it's safe to make mistakes, because they don't want to make the mistakes outside. Once again, they're not studying that particular subject to pass an exam. They're learning it to actually succeed and progress in their own careers. And finally, we talk about reinforcement. Adults are very, very, very forgetful people. The older you are, the more you need reinforcement. The more you need to reinforce certain ideas. Why did I learn? What did I learn last week? What did I learn 2 months back? It needs to be constantly reinforced. Because once again, I come back to the idea that they're not studying for an end of term exam. If you teach them something that is not relevant, it is not reinforced, 6 months' time, they need to be retrained once again. What's a fantastic way to reinforce an idea to someone? Use mnemonics. Mnemonics are, how do we memorize this? Simple, career. The first 6 letters. So another reinforcement occurs.